Hey, thanks for dropping in. I'm breaking from my usual once a week upload schedule because I made something which I'm quite proud of, and frankly, I just can't wait to share it. It's this mushroom and goat cheese uh, hand pie. Yeah, I'm going with hand pie because it's not really a tart, although you would need quite a big hand to hold it, I guess. Anyways, it's mushrooms and goat cheese, obviously, stuffed into ready made puff pastry. I realize that drops this dish to difficulty level 1, but I'm not going to let that stop me from taking a victory lap. Because if you've seen my other videos, you've probably heard me mention more than once that I'm useless at all things baking and pastry. So this was a big win. Okay, so to make this thing, I first needed to chop up some mushrooms. As well as a shallot and some garlic. The rest of the filling was made up of goat cheese, fresh thyme, and brandy. I dumped the mushrooms into a pan that had some olive oil as well as some butter. To help speed things up, I also added a sprinkle of salt. After a few minutes, the mushrooms had shrunk down and released their water. I kept going until they dried out again. It took about another 5 minutes to get there. At that point, I was good to add the shallot and garlic. Once things were nice and aromatic, I poured in the brandy. Now, I did this directly into the pan while it was on the heat, because I'm used to it, and I've never had any problems, and I had a lid standing by just in case of a flare-up. However, for safety's sake, I recommend you might want to do this off the heat. Regardless, once the brandy was in, I let it go until it dried out again. To finish, I added the thyme, as well as some fresh cracked pepper and another pinch of salt. Then I poured it out and let it cool completely. Next, it was time to face my nemesis, pastry. At least it was pre-made. All I had to do was defrost it. I laid it out on a baking sheet and piled half of it with my mushroom mixture. I ended up using about 3/4 of the mushrooms in total. Then I piled on the goat cheese. Then I folded it together and crimped the edges. At this point, there was a bit of a scuffle between me and the pastry, so I'm just going to skip to the end. By the time I got to brushing on the egg wash, the pastry was starting to go pretty soft. I was obviously taking too long, and it didn't help that the hot oven was right beside me, so I popped it in there as quick as I could. And after about 30 minutes, this is what I had. And here it is, plated up. With a little sprinkle of thyme to make it look even nicer. Finally, here's a shot of the inside. Pretty good, right? Especially for something made by a pastry-phobic non-baker, which I guess means anyone can make it. And you should, because it was delicious. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed this video. I will be back to my usual schedule with a new recipe this weekend, so keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you then.